Hi guys, it's Anna and welcome to my channel. In case you guys are new here, I am currently a senior finance analyst working in a Big Four bank in Australia, and I'm soon to be a finance manager, so I guess in the title I can call this a finance manager reacts. But anyway, in this video I wanted to actually chat to you guys about anti-work on Reddit. It's actually a new thing that I came across when I was watching Michelle Phan's video. She had a makeup video talking about anti-work. So then I did a bit of reading on Reddit, and I'm not a really I don't go on Reddit that often usually. So if you guys don't know about what anti-work relates to, let me just read the description for you guys. So it is basically a subreddit for those who want to end work, are curious about ending work, want to get the most out of a work-free life, or want more information on anti-work ideas and want personal help with their own jobs / work-related struggles. One of the things that I touched about in this anti-work Reddit forum is something about hustle culture. Now, I grew up with my parents telling me that you got to work really hard, Anna, and if you work hard, you'll be rewarded. And no matter how hard it is, you can still get through it. Because my parents came from a background where they migrated to Australia, and it was really hard for them to find a job, especially with the language barrier and just a lot of skills that they had back at home. It was not very transferable in Australia, and yeah, it was just really tough for them. And so for them, it was always Anna, work really hard, study, you got to graduate from university, have a bachelor's degree, go work experience, and just try work really hard at work. But there is this thing called hustle culture that is not necessarily the most, I guess, applauded anymore, because essentially you don't want to work all the time until you die. That is not something that you should be very proud of, apparently. So this one is actually very interesting. So this person, Durist Sajib, said there is nothing good about huddle culture. So here it says, I love how millennials and Gen Z are collectively rejecting hustle culture. No, we will not work on our rest days. No, we will not sleep for 2 hours. No, there is no glory in blind devotion to the grind. And no, it is not admirable to very literally work oneself to the grave. I can really vibe with this, because I feel like there is this pressure / I guess culture saying the more you work, the more busy you are, then the more successful you are. And I don't think that's necessarily true. And now people are starting to really realize that, hey, you don't have to be always hustling and have your timetable filled to the brim all the way down to nighttime to be viewed as successful. Back then, I'm not gonna lie, when I was studying for high school and I was at uni, I felt like I always needed to be busy. So I still have that part in me still, which is not very healthy. But I'm constantly thinking okay, Anna, you got some free time now, don't waste this time. This is very precious. Definitely go use it to do something build your online business or do a YouTube video like I am now. I always need to be constantly doing something productive to feel like I am valuable and I am worth something in society and that I am successful. And that's not always the case. Of course it's good to be productive and have things to do in your downtime, but you don't always have to be working. In fact, if you're just always working, when are you gonna have time to enjoy the amazing things in life? When you're gonna schedule that holiday? Even when you're on a holiday, is your mind switched off, or are you actually enjoying your time there with your friends and family? And I'm starting to see that work-life balance and flexibility is a lot more prevalent nowadays in a lot of corporate jobs. Back in the days, it wasn't really as emphasized, but now people are saying you could work from home if it suits you. Your working hours are a bit more flexible as long as you get the work done. They don't really care how you get it done. And that one, it's not always applicable to every company, of course, but some people do say that. Back then, physical health was all the rave, but I feel like mental health nowadays has become so important. And if you're constantly working and you have no time for yourself to really recover and rejuvenate, then you're just going to feel miserable at the end of it. Here's another one that I really vibe with. Kill Hacks said, I hope one day we all wake up. How do people wake up? Work 40 hours a week. a 9-hour shift every day and think, yes, this is the way of life, without questioning how absurd capitalism is. So growing up, I was from a very not very affluent family, and you know, we would just be like, whatever job you can do, take it. Like if you can be a dishwasher, go ahead. Like that was actually my first job in life. I'm not saying those jobs are bad. I'm just saying that at that time I felt like I would do anything it takes to earn money and live. And then my parents just kind of set me this path saying like, okay, Anna, to be successful, you need to do these things. You need to go to school, graduate with a university degree, get some work experience, grind hard, and then have a stable, full-time corporate job in the office with the aircon running and, you know, crunching spreadsheets. And that would be a lot more comfortable than working a lot of other jobs I've worked in the past. For the longest time, I was like, okay, I need to do this job because it is good for me. It is good for my resume. It is good for my career path. It's great experience. It's a good stepping stone. And then it got to a point where I felt like I was just jumping from stepping stone to stepping stone without knowing, like with a clear vision in my mind, like where is the finale? Where am I trying to head? What am I trying to do in life? Because I was like, oh yeah, like I should work in this firm because it gives me great experience and I have no experience right now, and so that's gonna help me build my resume, and then using this I can go to this kind of firm, and then from here I will grind for another few years and then use this experience to get a bit better paying job elsewhere. And so that was the kind of path that I was sort of believing at the time, because it just felt like life was gonna be that way. And if I even had the opportunity to go through that pathway, I was very fortunate. But now that I've kind of gone through a bit of that pathway, and I'm not saying anything wrong with that, if that's what you're going for, go for it. Like I am all supportive for that. But if that's not something that you really want in life, then definitely question it. Like nowadays I'm like, people can make money doing so many different things. Like you don't have to be working an office job to be earning a lot of money or earning a decent living, but life is also what you make out of it. It's not set in stone, and not everyone's career path is going to be the same. And just because your best friend or your co-worker who's very successful doing that particular job doesn't mean that you need to follow exactly that same path, because everyone's different. And that's honestly the beauty of it, the fact that we're all different. Okay, so here we have Ganja G. They shared a photo of a group of people at work. I think they work in the food service industry. It pretty much shows that restaurant workers were hiding behind the counter, away from like the customers, so that they could eat. And there's someone said here, this is literally how anyone gets to eat, if at all. Like that is just like, that just baffles me. I just can't believe people are going through these kind of working conditions. I feel like if I were to run my own business, I would treat my employees with respect and treat them like human beings, you know, not like slaves just working for you. The next one is honestly really sad as well. So someone shared the text message. Basically they got fired without knowing. It says, hey Melissa, it's Tyler from work. Sorry to bother you on your day off, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Danny left me a voicemail earlier asking to call him back, but his phone has been off for the last 2.5 hours. I tried asking Suzette what was going on, but she told me it wasn't her place to let me know. I just don't want to spend the whole day or whole Saturday stressing about if someone in the office has COVID or if I'm getting fired or whatever. Have you heard from him? And so the next message is really sad. It's like, hey Tyler, we are being laid off. I'm sorry you had to hear from me. This person says, that's a bummer. Really wish they could have at least waited until after the holidays. Not a great move. The reason why I also chose this one to talk about is because recently in my past few workplaces, I'm not going to name anything, but I have seen a lot of people being laid off, and it was before the Christmas period. And it's really sad. It's not right. I feel like companies are always trying to find ways to cut costs, and one of the easiest ways to cut costs is to fire people. I just feel like that's not right. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's just really hard seeing people with families and responsibilities and commitments being told that they need to leave a company with such short notice at such a bad time. I'll just keep it at that. Okay, and then this other one is absolutely ridiculous. There's a person who got fired for being efficient by automating most of his work with programming, and then he put his ex-co-workers at risk of getting fired too sorry, I think it's a he or she, but I'm not sure. How basically the whole gist of this story is that this person was working in a corporate job, and their tasks were very repetitive every single month, and it was like dealing with spreadsheets, PDFs, emails, and just like so boring stuff, right? And this person was super smart, and what they did was they tried to learn and pick up new skills on how to automate and make things more efficient for themselves, which I honestly think is amazing. Like if any employee decides to go outside of the comfort zone and learn something new and try to improve processes, that's honestly amazing. Like any efficiencies is amazing. The person's boss was not very happy. The boss was very concerned about like having non-approved programs, handling sensitive data. The worker was kind of like being lazy and not needing to work as much anymore because of the automated processes. Basically, the boss fired this worker because they said they can't trust that person, and sat there and got paid for doing nothing for weeks. Firstly, the fact that someone has the drive to automate things is very valuable. The fact that they went out of the comfort zone, picked up a new skill, in this case I think learned about Python, which I haven't used before, and they automated a lot of processes, like that's amazing. Instead of appreciating that type of talent, the boss was just like blaming this person, saying that they're not working and whatnot. And I'm just like, do you expect someone to do the same thing every single day and do it the same way and not think of a better way to do it? Anyway, I just think that that person's pretty close-minded. Anyway, those were just some of the things that I found interesting from that AntiWork Reddit forum. If you guys are interested, definitely go check it out on Reddit. It's very interesting and I could spend all night reading about it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm curious to see what you guys thought of the things I picked up on as well. So if you have any other video suggestions you want me to cover, let me know in the comments down below. And I hope that you guys enjoy this video. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!